One of the important things to remember when you file your taxes each year is that there is a standard deduction and there are itemized deductions. Now, the standard deduction amount increases slightly every year with inflation, and it varies by the filing status of the taxpayer. The standard deduction will vary for single taxpayers, for married taxpayers, for taxpayers 65 years of age or older, and so forth. Now, not every taxpayer can use the standard deduction, and sometimes the standard deduction is better than itemized deductions. On the other hand, sometimes it's better to use itemized deductions. So you have to talk to your tax professional about which deductions you can use, standard or itemized. Now, if you use itemized deductions, it's important for you to be organized. You've got to get your records together. Itemized deductions go, of course, on Schedule A, but there are a lot of them. And the IRS instructions really aren't very clear on the tax form, so it's best to talk to your tax pro and then read the other booklets that the IRS gives out so that you can get a full picture of what goes into your itemized deductions. Because there are all kinds of itemized deductions, and the better organized you are, the easier it will be to track your expenses and take your deductions. Now, I like to use the simple envelope system to keep track of my deductible expenses. It is simple. It's just one envelope for each category, and you keep those envelopes and add your deductible expenses, receipts into the envelope throughout the whole year. And then come tax time, you take out each envelope and you know what deductions you've got there and where they go on the tax form. Okay, there are 7 main categories of deductions in your itemized deductions. Category number 1, state and local income taxes and sales taxes. You can get the state and local income taxes from your own tax records, of course. Sales taxes, hey, keep track of those things. You buy a car, you buy big purchases, sales taxes add up. Maybe they'll exceed the amount you get in your standard deduction, so then you'll want to itemize. So keep track of sales taxes, especially if you make major purchases. Category number 2, real estate and personal property taxes. You may get receipts from the government on this. You may get receipts from your own bank, but keep track of your real estate and personal property taxes. Category number 3, interest on your home mortgage. Easy to get, just ask your bank. They should send you a form each year that tells you how much interest you paid each year on your home mortgage. Category number 4, any insurance you pay on a home mortgage. Again, this is something that your bank will send you or your mortgage company. Category number 5, losses from a federally declared disaster, such as a hurricane or tornado. So if you live in any of those regions that got socked over the last year by those storms, keep track of your losses. You're going to get losses that you're going to file with your insurance company. You'll have other losses that aren't covered, but you want to keep them because it doesn't matter if your insurance company covers them or not. What isn't covered by your insurance company is deductible on your tax return. Category number 6, gifts to a charity. And don't forget the mileage to drive to the charity, to drive to the drop-off points. Keep a value of those things. You're allowed to deduct what might be the thrift shop value or the value that the charity would value your various donated items at. For example, you donated a toaster, old clothing. Use your common sense here. You don't want to deduct full retail new value because it's not going to fly. And then you want to have your 7th category, which is unreimbursed medical and dental expenses. Again, you want to include the mileage for driving to your doctor, driving to hospitals, driving to the pharmacist, the cost of driving to get your eyeglasses fixed by your optometrist. You drive to a hearing aid store. All of those miles are deductible. So keep track of those miles. They add up. Now, there are some limitations on these deductions. For example, medical and dental expenses, and these include mileage for driving to doctors and to pharmacies, as I mentioned. Your medical and dental expenses must exceed 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. Now, your tax professional can explain this to you, or you can find the instructions in your tax booklet that the IRS sends you. Unfortunately, if you don't have a lot of medical deductions, you may be best using the standard deduction. Now, the deduction for state and local taxes may also be limited, so you'll want to check that again. Again, if you can't deduct the state and local taxes on your itemized return, you may want to use the standard deduction amount, which might be better off for you. Now, if you do your taxes yourself and you use a software program, most of these software programs do a very good job of reminding you what is deductible and how you can enter these expenses. A tax professional will also guide you. By the way, when you buy tax software, or you buy a tax guide, or you pay an accountant to do your taxes, those are tax deductible expenses. Don't forget they're tax deductible expenses, all right? You pay for $120 to buy, a tax software for your home computer. That's a deductible expense. Keep track of those things. And remember that small deductions can add up to significant money. So keep track of your small deductions and the big deductions because they add up. Keep those envelopes, all right? Keep those envelopes. Stuff those envelopes so when it comes tax time, you've got big stuffed envelopes filled with deductions. And remember, if you have a tax problem or issue, call Legal Tax Defense for a free consultation. Here's the number, 800-231-3321. Again, it's 800-231-3321. And get those envelopes ready and start sorting out your tax deductible expenses. It might be a good idea now to start the envelope system for your 2022 expenses, okay? You've got your 2021 expenses because you're going to start filing your taxes soon, and then you can have your envelopes ready to start stuffing them with your 2022 expenses. I'm Alan Mendelson. Watch for my next tax tip. Thanks very much.